Welcome to all the 10th class students of Kendriya Vidyalaya Khammam to the science class, particularly chemistry class. So, in the last class, whatever link I shared, in that class, I told you how to write the names of salts and how to name the given salts. That topic is most important because in 10th class there are 5 chapters in chemistry. Almost every chapter is going to have inorganic substances and their names are going to be given so that you should be able to write the formulae, otherwise you are going to lose the marks. So writing the names of the salts and their formulas is much more important. That's why we gone through it in an introductory session. Now in this class we are going to start our 10th class topics directly. This is session 1 and period 1. In that period, in this session 1 we are going to discuss our first lesson in chemistry. What is the first lesson in chemistry of 10th class? That is chapter 1 or lesson 1 is chemical reactions and equations. Thus the first chapter is chemical reactions and equations. So if you proceed further, what do we discuss in this chapter? Means what this chapter is trying to tell us. Can you guess? We are going to discuss chemical reactions, characteristics of chemical reactions, writing equation for a chemical reaction, balancing of chemical equations, types of reactions. Of course, we are every time pronouncing chemical and chemical. What is that chemical reaction? These characteristics of reactions are going to help you to find out whether it is a chemical reaction or not. Writing equation for a chemical reaction, because if you write paragraphs in a chemistry, it's not going to work. You have to you can represent entire paragraph equation in a single line, like a mathematical formula. So you have to learn that one. After writing equation, we have to make sure that the equation is balanced. What is that balanced form? And how many types of reactions are there in general? Then what are these applications? Means what are the applications of what you learnt in our daily life? That should be learned. Then only we are going to have some impact on our general life. So let's move on. In types of chemical reactions, if you look at, there are combination reactions, decomposition reactions, displacement reactions, double displacement reactions, redox reactions. In redox reactions, there are 2 types of reactions: oxidation reactions and reduction reactions, exothermic reactions, endothermic reactions. So we are going to discuss one by one in a clean manner. And before going to it, if you are reading any chapter, you should know why you are learning it. Otherwise, it has no meaning. You are going to get bored. By going through this lesson, one point you have to make sure that you should be able to identify different types of changes taking place around us in terms of chemistry. So when you are in home, you are going to make ice, you are going to make some curry, you are going to make some rice. How they are related to chemistry, and what is the importance of different types of conditions you are using. You have to realize the importance of them, because you cannot make ice by keeping water on the stove. Okay, you cannot simply make this sugar syrup by dissolving sugar in water. You need some flame. And you should be able to understand applications of different types of chemicals in our daily life. If you have a keen idea, you are using Rin soap or Rin bar or Rin powder or Surf Excel powder or Ariel powder for washing clothes. Why not for washing of your body? You are using a simply soap that is used by Katrina Kaif or somebody heroines who is giving advertisement for our body wash. Why not this Lux soap or Dove soap are used for washing of clothes? Have you ever observed? Why particularly you are using a Vim liquid in our home for dishwash purposes? Okay, like there are so many general applications. In few years back, thumbs up drink is used to clean the washrooms or sink or basins or to kill the insects. But still you are drinking. At the same time, you are using Harpic liquid to clean same utensils or washrooms. What is there in common between that thumbs up and this Harpic liquid? Have you ever thought? Like there so many processes are there where you have to link one by one. So this guy is sitting and having very huge doubt. I think that's why he's knocking on his head. That's what his doubt is. What is a reaction? What my doubt is also same. What is a reaction? You are telling reaction and reaction. A reaction is also have the name as change. So a change in state and nature, a characteristics, etc. of a substance under different set of conditions is known as a reaction. Why we are worrying about a different set of conditions? Different set of conditions means you cannot simply boil the rice by mixing water and raw rice, unboiled rice. What you are going to supply? You are going to supply some heat by keeping this mixture of rice and water on the stove. Other thing you are doing is, if you want to make the ice cream, you are going to keep the mixture in deep freeze, not on the stove. So this certain under certain set of conditions, you are going to get some a change. That is a characteristic for the given set of conditions. So how many types of changes are there in general? How many types of changes are there in general? Reaction can also be called as change. Okay, that's what I told. So how many types of basic types of changes are there? If you go through it, in general, changes are two types. What are those? Can you guess? Changes are two types. Have some knowledge in 9th class. Don't think that it is an entirely new chapter. There is some link to 8th and 9th and so on. There are two types of changes. One is physical change, other is chemical change. If you look at the physical change, slowly look at those lines which are dropping from the top. If we read one by one, in physical changes, only state of the substance changes. What is state? In matter around us, in the 9th class, you learned different states of matter. Actually, there are 6 fundamental states of matter: solids, liquids, gases, quasi-static matter, plasma state, and Bose-Einstein condensate. Out of these 6 fundamental states of matter, we are going to discuss about very familiar and existing states. They are solids, liquids, and gases because they are generally existing. These are called physical states of any substance. If you look at water, water can exist in 3 forms. What are they? Liquid form, you are drinking; ice, that is solid form; and vapor, water vapor, that is gaseous form, like that. So liquid, solid, gas, water can exist. Liquid water you are drinking, ice you are chewing as ice cream, and vapor you are exhaling or inhaling every time. So a solid can change into liquid a liquid can change into gas and vice versa. These changes are called physical changes. So only physical state of the substance changes. In a physical change, you cannot find any new substance, whether it is solid, whether it is liquid, whether it is vapor, all three forms are same as far as our concern. Okay, when you are going to call as new substance, you are going to call anything as new substance when starting material and ending material are having entirely different properties. When they can have entirely different chemical properties, when the molecules changed inside. When I do plastic surgery for you, I cannot call you as a new person because inside you are same. Your genetics, your genome, DNA, RNA, everything is same. Only external look is changed. Like that, this is also. For looking the state, physical state is changed. It doesn't mean inside everything is changed. So how it is looking outside, that is physical form. How what is there inside, that is chemical form. That is molecular composition. So in physical changes, there is no change in composition of substance. Means when you look at water in liquid form, the consistent particles are H2O molecules. If you look into ice, the consistent particles are H2O molecules. If we look into vapors, the consistent particles are gases, that is H2O particles. So in all the cases, what are the corresponding particles? The corresponding particles are H2O, H2O, H2O. So whether it is a liquid or solid water, or it is gaseous water or water vapor, inside the particles are H2O molecules. That's called molecular composition. And these physical changes are reversible. If you want to make solid into liquid, raise the temperature, keep the ice on stove, you will get liquid. If you further want liquid into gas, further supply the heat, more heat, it's going to evaporate. And if you want to get gas, if you want to get liquid from gas, simply reduce the temperature, cool it, okay, and apply the pressure. That's called condensation. Gas into liquid is called condensation. If you want to solidify the liquid, means a liquid into solid, that's called freezing. So what you are getting here, in each and every step, you are changing some physical parameter and you are getting a different physical change. So physical changes can be reversible. Reversible means they can be changed. So examples of these physical changes are freezing of water. Freezing of water means ice making. Melting of ice means ice into liquid. Melting of ice means solid to liquid. Vaporization means liquid to gas. Dissolution means solid and liquid combinedly forms the solution. And crystallization is nothing but a solution going to separate into solid and liquid. I will give you the famous example. When you are making gulab jamun recipe, you are going to prepare sugar syrup. If you take that sugar syrup and keep for a long time without any disturbance, the crystals of sugar are going to be finely separated from that solution. Okay. That fine separation of those crystals from that solution is called crystallization. So dissolution and crystallization are opposite to each other. Okay. Like that, these are physical changes. Then what are chemical changes? Please look at the scrolling. In chemical changes, the end product is going to have entirely different products from the different characteristics from the starting materials. when an end product is going to have entirely different properties, when inside the composition is changed, the inside composition of a chemical substance is called molecular composition. What is there inside? When what is there inside changes, its behavior changes. So chemical changes are entirely proceeds with change in molecular composition. Once chemical change took place, you cannot reverse it. Okay, so let us take you are cooking chicken, and you are cooking chicken. Boiled chicken cannot be reversed back into raw chicken. Boiled is going to have entirely different properties. Unboiled is going to have different properties. Or when you are mixing hydrogen gas with oxygen, this burning of hydrogen, you are going to get H2O liquid. This reaction is used in the space Apollo space program. Hydrogen combines with oxygen to give water. In starting materials, these are called reactants. The ending materials you are going to call as products. In the starting materials, hydrogen and oxygen both are different. But in the ending, hydrogen and oxygen combinedly existing in the form of H2O. So in the starting materials, the composition is hydrogen and oxygen particles. In the ending materials, the composition is water particles. So this is called change in molecular composition. What are better examples? For Diwali or for any other purpose, you are going to burn crackers. Once the crackers are burnt, you cannot get back the starting materials. Otherwise, no need to buy crackers every time. Coal, burning of gas, wood, crackers are the examples for chemical changes. Okay, action of heat and sugar. Action of heat means directly take a pinch of sugar, very small amount of sugar in spoon, directly introduce into the flame, you will get ash, black ash. That black ash do not have any taste except like carbon, that is coal. It's like a coal. Once if we convert a milk into curd, that is curdling of milk, you cannot get back the milk again. Means once the milk is converted into curd, you cannot get milk back again. That process is termed as chemical change. Like that, there are so many chemical changes you can find. These chemical changes are referred to as chemical reactions. These chemical changes are referred to as chemical reactions. That's what our target. Okay, let's proceed to the next slide. Why this big guy is roaming here and there? Maybe he's having big task to solve. Let's see what's that big task he got. Oh, it's a very definite question. How do we identify a chemical change? That's a familiar question. Sir, I can tell when a liquid is kept in a deep freeze, we are getting ice. Simply I can find it's a physical change. Then how do I say some chemical change is happening? The answer is existing in your kitchen only, but you may not recognize. Okay, let's see what are the answers. A chemical change can be observed by looking at its characteristics. A chemical change is always going to have some certain characteristics. By looking at those characteristics, we can say a chemical change is taking place. What are those characteristics? Let's move on to know what are those characteristics so that we can be able to tell it is a chemical change or not.